A row has erupted among members of parliament in the NASA coalition as speakers of the National Assembly and Senate officially received and accepted the list of the NASA leadership in the House. A section of NASA lawmakers in the National Assembly opposed the list, claiming the proposed leadership lacked regional representation and gender balance. Patrick Amimo has more on this controversy.
The National Super Alliance leadership to the 12th Parliament has been formally accepted by the speakers. The minority leadership in the bicameral House was to be in place by mid-September after MPs were sworn in, but was delayed by wrangles in the coalition on how to fill the 8 slots.
We had to balance the interests of the coalition and also look at individual competencies.
In the Senate, the minority leader is Ford Kenya Party leader Moses Wetangula. He will be deputized by ODM Senator James Orengo. Makueni Senator Mutula Kilonzo Jr. from the Wiper Party is the minority whip. He will be deputized by nominated Senator Petronila Were of Amani National Congress. In the National Assembly, ODM Chairman John Mbadi is the minority leader. He will be deputized by Kathiani MP Robert Mbui from the Wiper Party. Suna East MP Junet Mohammed, elected on ODM ticket, is the minority whip. He will be deputized by Ford Kenya's Kiminini MP Chris Wamalwa.
We've had a series of parliamentary meetings, and the leadership of NASA saw it fit for me because, like last time, I was the deputy whip, and I think I did my work very well.
But Coast MPs allied to ODM and some of their Wiper colleagues opposed the list after it was formally announced by National Assembly Speaker Justin Muturi. They walked out of the chambers to express their anger. They claimed Coast region was not considered despite having delivered many votes to NASA.
Uongozi ule sisi twaupinga, na kwa hivyo hata kamati hatutopeleka majina sisi. Kama hatuna manufaa, sisi hatutokubali kutumiwa. Na tuna imani ya kwamba katika mrengo wa NASA tuliweka nguvu zetu, ni lazima tupate faida zetu.
Tunayosikia ni kwamba watu wawili watatu walikaa tu kwenye ofisi na wakatengeza majina na wakatengeza fake minutes. Tunauliza vinara wetu, Mheshimiwa Raila, Mheshimiwa Kalonzo, Mheshimiwa Wetangula, Mheshimiwa Mudavadi, sisi kina mama tuko wapi? Where are we as women in this coalition? Do we have a stake?
And we are telling Mheshimiwa Raila Amolo Odinga, as much as he doesn't recognize Uhuru Kenyatta as president, we also don't recognize the list that has been submitted to this House.
It may not please everyone, but I think, again, our members must understand that these positions are few, and not all of us can sit.
The opposition was finalizing a list of proposed nominees to House committees. However, NASA will not submit a list of its members to the National Assembly Committee on Appointment.
The reason is the Committee on Appointment deals with the vetting of executive appointments, the appointees of the President, CSs, but as a NASA coalition, we don't recognize Uhuru Kenyatta as the President. That we have made very clearly. So how would we then sit in a Committee on Appointments to go and vet those nominees? We will not.
Despite the controversy surrounding NASA leadership in the House, leader of minority in the National Assembly, John Mbadi, says there will be more positions for other members of parliament in the committee, which will consider both regional and gender balance. Patrick Amimo, KTN News, Parliament.
And in studio with me, Javas Bigambo, governance expert, is still here with us. So we're seeing both sides of the political divide really trying to fulfill the political promises that they made during the campaign period, clearly. But let's focus on what's happening within NASA for a moment. A row over exclusivity in that list being forwarded to Parliament. What do you read from that?
Well, of course, there is competition for power. And the other thing is that there are those, even though there is the NASA initiative or the NASA House, there are those who feel that they are not closer to the kitchen, so they're not feeling the warmth and having been, being served with the warmth of the meal or the hot meal within the kitchen of NASA. And that's why you see individuals from the coastal region saying that, one, they were not consulted, two, that they have not been involved within those House committees, and they are feeling the cold and the heat of it. That's why they're appealing even to the leadership. Realize that there is no list that can be submitted to the House if at all the top leadership is not okay with it. It is obvious that the top leadership of NASA, one, was aware of the list, endorsed the list, and is comfortable with the list. And the other thing is that it is about what the leadership of the party wants. So the other individuals, they have had the opportunity in the past even to lobby before this list was generated. Tells you also that all may not necessarily be well within the NASA House. Because of these regional interests. Remember that politics is all about power and resources and influence, and how you distribute this for the benefit of the people, creating perceptions and pursuing collective as much as self-interest. What we are seeing here today is a culmination of power struggles within the NASA initiative or the NASA House. And tells you that moving forward, we are likely to see push and pull, one within NASA, just as much as we are likely to see push and pull within the legislature, pitting NASA against the Jubilee establishment. And that's to be expected in any political framework, any political contest. You've heard even Honorable Mbadi saying that they do not, as NASA, as far as they're concerned, recognize Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta as president. But that could be merely a political sentiment, because Honorable Mbadi knows very well that if he's operating within the framework of the law and within the framework of the rule of law and the Constitution of Kenya, then substantively we have a president in office who took oath, and a substantive deputy president also who took oath on the 20th of this month. So their lack of recognition of the presidency of Uhuru Kenyatta does not necessarily count, because it does not negate the fact of law and fact of politics that there is a president in office. So here we are going also to see that there may be those who may not be fully persuaded then to carry on with the drive of the NASA leadership, especially the coastal region, for example, if they're feeling left out. Yet initially they had embraced the imagination that everything will be consultative, that they will be involved and included within such kind of leadership within the House. So there's going to be continued or incessant feeling of disgruntlement, complaints, etc. Within NASA. And realize too that having Jubilee fully endorsed in office and President Kenyatta taking his second term as president, then the question of power interests is going to be at center play. Then the other thing is that there are those individuals who are ambitious and may want to see how they reposition themselves for future politics, especially toward 2022. Realize that the Council of Governors chair, Honorable Nanok, attended the president's inauguration. And even he has communicated critically as to why it matters and it mattered to him to attend the inauguration. One, as the chair of the Council of Governors, and two, that he does not want to exclude or disengage his county government with the national government. It must not be imagined by some politicians or other governors that the semi-autonomy of the county governments gives them exclusive powers that they can function without engagement or involvement with the national government. Remember that, for example, there is the summit as an organ, there is the IBEC as an organ, which needs the engagement of county governments with the national government pursuant to Article 6, Sub-Article 2 of the Constitution of Kenya. So all those things are going to be seen at play throughout this period.
All right, so it is a lot in the in-tray for the country this month as political strategies also come to play. Well, that's why we take a break on KTN News Desk. We've been speaking to governance expert Javas Bigambo. Many thanks for being with us this afternoon. Well, News Desk takes a